Hello everybody, my name is Connor and I am here with Queen versus Reiju. Reiju dropping the stage turn 1, getting a ETG. Yeah, this is looking bad for Queen. Queen does not do well into aggro, and that is exactly what this deck is. The Reiju deck is aggro. So we forgot to fist bump, we fist bump. I get my 2 Dawn and pass turn. So my opponent sitting at 4 Dawn right now, playing stage to discard. I can't really see, unfortunately. The glare is a little good there, and grabbing the baby Reiju, which I don't really want him to have cards in hand, so that's a bit unfortunate. But yeah, I'm thinking at this point I don't know what he can do. I have a decent amount of counter in my hand, which is nice, but he ends up tapping 3 to play the Porsche, and he actually told me later that he bottom decks, I think, 3 ETGs, roughly 3 ETGs with the Porsche here, whiffing the Porsche search, which is, I feel like that's kind of what this deck does. So yeah, pretty unfortunate. Playing down the baby Reiju, trashing that to play the big Reiju, drawing 2 cards, drawing that card after the Porsche search because of leader ability. Swinging 5, I decided to just take, and we get the Yamato, which is definitely tough. We have a lot of things in hand that we can't really do much with. So yeah, just kind of thinking about what I want to do, making sure that his turn is over before I start my turn. And yeah, so we get the beige, which is nice. And at this point, beige in hand, I'm not mad about. It's counter. I do decide to swing 6 at lead here, trying to get some cards out of hand. But they just end up taking it, and I'm like, oh, okay. And so I tap 3, and I'm not exactly, like, I don't hate what I'm seeing, but I'm not exactly thrilled. But I think that the gravity blades, I want to keep this up because I know he's searching, I know he's cycling, and I think gravity blades can get rid of everything but the 7-cost ETG that he plays. And of course, if he ends up playing Judge, then Judge as well. But so I'm thinking I want to get the gravity blades out, so instead of, killing the siblings or killing the Germa 66 Power Rangers, I can bottom deck them. Granted, he goes through his deck pretty fast, but not having the resource readily available to him might be nice. So drawing for turn, his hand is looking fat already. I mean, my hand is looking fat too, but not a ton of counters. I think I've got 8k counter if I did my math correctly, which good chance I didn't, because 0 cost is 3, so 9k counter, I think. 10k. I don't know. I'm not very comfortable with how much counter I have. I can't do math, and that the sign is giving me that beautiful glare on my cards. Note to self, gotta find somewhere else to sit here. But swinging 6 with lead, I just give him the Capone. Fine getting out of that. I know that there's a lot of hits coming my way. Another 6 coming at me, and I counter out with the Hiyori there. And the other 6 I take, and we get another Yamato. That's 2 Yamatos out of life, and I'm like, literally, like, not against Reiju. I need a way to live and counter. And yeah, so I think here I end up tapping 4 and playing down the pudding. And I thought, like, oh, he has a lot of cards in hand, I'm gonna minimize that. Realistically, I think that I should have just played the you guys can't see it because of the glare, but the X-Strike blocker I have there. I think that probably would have been a better choice. But he did have a good amount of cards in hand. I think he said he was at like 7 or 8, which is really good for pudding. And I know he had been searching and cycling, so I kind of want to disrupt that. But as you'll see, the pudding actually bites me in the ass here. And there I am doing some silly shit with the cutting there, just for fun. We're having a good time. And he does get 5 cards back, and yeah, realistically, I think the pudding was not the call there. But I swing 7 into Porsche, hoping he'll let Porsche go. And I think, like, personally, I'm really thrilled that Rage is falling out of favor. because it's so hard for me to decide, like, is it worth killing the German 66 guys because they can just come back from the trash, and it's hard to make that decision, you know, for me. So and there I say, oh, like, I was swinging at Porsche, and he's like, oh, my bad, like, what do you want me to do with that? And I'm like, it's locals, dude. I think I'm cooked at this point. I'm feeling like I'm definitely cooked, so I'm like, just put it back on top. I don't care. You know, this is, you guys have probably seen me play this guy a lot. We homies, so, like, I don't care. It's not that serious. So he ends up cycling and getting, and there it is. There is the first indicator that my putting was a mistake. He's getting his EGGs, and he's laughing at me. He's like, you saved my life. You saved my hand, dude. Thanks for the pudding. And I'm like, you son of a bitch. You be quiet, you know. They're just having fun there. Of course, I don't think he's actually a son of a bitch. He's a great guy. But yeah, just another Porsche comes down after I did all of that to kill his other Porsche. And it's just, Reiju is doing Reiju things. She's popping off, and I am bricking. Which is a very big problem with this deck, is if this deck bricks, it bricks hard. And unfortunately for me, Reiju plays so fast that I can't. The queen can't get up to where she needs to, or he needs to be, which is around that 9 dawn turn. So I'm cheating out those big bodies, so I'm healing, things like that. So they end up swinging the 5, and I counter out, and do I counter out of this? Because I think he just played that this turn. Yeah, whoopsies, mistake there. I don't think it mattered too much, but he does swing with the Porsche, and then he swings with the Reiju, and yeah, so really destructive turn. I mean, I think realistically, even if without the Porsche, I think he still would have had the game. I did mention that this is a L, so I think even without swinging that Porsche, he probably would have just swung more aggressively with Reiju. But yeah, he's doing the things, and I go ahead, and I think that this isn't the greatest. I tap 6 to bottom deck the EGG, leaving me with 2 Dawn. Yeah, and I think here I'm just like flustered already because I'm getting systematically dismantled, which definitely happens when you play off meta cheese like this. So we swing the 5, he counters out, and we swing 6, and yeah, like, it's tough because I don't know if with what I had, I could have gravity bladed. I guess gravity blade would have been better to get rid of the Porsche and the Reiju instead of just the EGG, and then dropped the Doflamingo. I think that would have been the better option, but I definitely can tell that I am like, oh, I'm cooked. You know, that I've kind of accepted the L preemptively, which I think in a lot of games I do that when I shouldn't. This game might be different because, yeah, I think I am pretty roasted, but I know that one of the things I do tend to, you know, I don't want to say give up on the game, but get flustered and like kind of like, oh, I'm gonna lose, I'm playing poorly, I'm gonna do make bad choices. And I know like that happened in the other game that I'm not posting. I made one mistake, and the mistakes just kept coming, and I wasn't able to kind of recenter and be like, okay, we can fix this mistake. And I think here it's kind of like he's rushing me down so aggressively, I can't do anything about it. Which, as I mentioned, I think even with the even if he didn't swing that Porsche, which I believe he probably thought it was the Porsche that I just killed, because it was in the same spot. So, you know, as I mentioned, it's not that big of a deal. You know, mistakes like these happen, and yeah. So he ends up grabbing the Sora off of the Search, which I think he is a little concerned about the the aggression, but he does end up dropping Niji and popping Pudding back to my hand, which at this point I'm like, sick, thank you, like thank you, I could really use that. And yeah, we haven't really had the opportunity to like continually stack our life, or stack our deck so we can in turn stack our life. And he actually ends up playing, after playing Niji, he plays the Yonji, which I love that Yonji card so much. I think it's a really, really good card. And he's a 6k body now because my opponent is at West Dawn. So he swings 5, I counter out. He swings another 5, I counter out. He swings 5 and I have to take. And we get Teach. So I'm like, cool, I wish I had Teach a little earlier. And we do end up getting Capone. So I'm hoping in my heart of hearts that we can do something here. And I'm thinking that my best option is to play Yamato. So I'll swing. Yeah, and I don't even get, I have so many bricks in my hand that I don't even get Queen ability. So I am thinking, like, okay, what do I do at this point? I'll go ahead and I just Sanji into Katakuri. I feel like Yamato might have been a better option, but yeah, look at my face. You can tell I'm stressed. I'm like, I am not winning this game. We are gonna do our best. So I end up putting Niji at the bottom of his life. And then, yeah, because I played the Sanji, I do have less than 4 cards between my life and my hand. And I have an 8k body, or an 8 cost body on field, so I do get to heal, but not much comes from that. We do have a little more counter, and I am hoping that honestly, the 0 cost is in my life. Or anything that can potentially save this game, honestly. So we are sitting at 4 in hand, 2 bricks, and there comes the Ichiji. So it is looking tough. I feel like, actually, like, thinking about it, I feel like Sanji was the best option. Otherwise, no, because even with Gravity Blade, yeah, I feel like even with Gravity Blade, if I Gravity Bladed 2 bodies off, I think I still would have died here. But let me know what you guys think. So swings 5, I counter Teach. Swings and I counter there. I take this, and unfortunately, if I took an earlier one, maybe, but I just concede there. Unfortunate, but hey, you know, you can't beat the rush, man. But yeah, I don't think that the Porsche mattered. I think that we were kind of roasted pretty quick. Yeah. When you play decks like Blue Yellow Queen, your goal is to get to late game. I literally, like, the strategy behind this Queen deck is turtle up, and then when you get to 9, start dropping 9 cost Sanji into these huge bodies. And unfortunately, yeah, when we're not able to really set that up with our blockers and stuff, when Reiju is running at our face and hurting our feelings. But hey, that is the game. So yeah, overall, fun game to play. Always love playing my buddy Bread. But yeah, that is gonna do it for me, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys like this video, hit that like button down below. It helps me out more than you can ever know. Go ahead and subscribe if you are new. We'll probably be doing a couple of sim videos. I don't really know what deck we're gonna play next, if we're gonna stay with Queen for a little bit longer or not. But of course, as always, if there's a leader you want to see me play, put it down below. Let me know. And yeah, that's gonna do it for me. I will see you guys in the next video. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day.